Dude, what is this? We live in the middle of a zoo here. You come at us, you gotta pull Pflugerville, dude. It's not ideal.
This is my old house, man.
Go and get it, baby. Go and get it, baby.
Yeah, bro? I didn't know this there.
Get in there.
He was very excited about that.
Yes, Larry, professional actor in Carl's movie With Pleasure. With Pleasure.
Live on Watch Alter. Check it out on YouTube.
We're entering the promo portion of the podcast.
No, you're supposed to plug at the end. What is
You can
this?
find us at With Pleasure Film on Instagram.
No.
At Fry Carl, link in bio.
We're cutting this.
Well deserved. Well deserved. Dude, I'm so happy to see you. It's been too long.
You know, it really has been a minute.
Also, we can scooch in. I feel like you're far away. Yes, it has been a minute. Oh shit! There's so many cables and wires.
We're tripped up.
We're fine. We're
Trapped
good
out.
now. This feels a little bit more personal.
Do you feel personally yet?
Yeah. Yeah, it has been. You were gone because you were in Alaska for how long were you gone? Because you traveled quite a bit throughout that entire process of this. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I feel like it would have been 3 months in Alaska, but broken up
Okay.
into different
Total of 3
trips.
months?
I think so, yeah.
Because you went up for a while scouting.
Mm-hmm.
We should say what you're talking about. Would you mind explaining?
Yeah. We were making a movie. We made a movie.
Yes, we did.
With Larry?
We've made several.
We all made
Yes,
a movie.
yes.
All
They're
included. It was a little movie, and then with that little movie, we got the option to make a big movie, and we were gonna do it in Alaska without Larry this time, but it all fell apart.
Well, things tend to fall apart. Movies tend to fall apart.
Just
I feel
life?
like just like well, yeah, but I wonder like if you were to go. There's no way to do this because a lot of these things don't even get like reported or even make it to like awareness. But like, what percentage of features just don't come out? Because I'm sure that number would surprise a lot of people.
99%.
You think 99%? I know you're kidding, but like,
Well, what
I'm
do you
sure
mean?
it's a lot.
Like through the ones that are options, the ones like scripts that are written, because that's probably 99%.
Well, the scripts that are written, I think maybe like if you get past just having a script, what percentage of like, okay, we're making a movie and it dies in infancy? I feel like that happens to so many projects that like we just don't even talk about.
Yeah, but then also like you'll just like meet someone at a party who's like, yeah, you know, like Mark Wahlberg was attached.
You never want to
he was
be that guy, though. Yes.
He was like super in, but then like scheduling conflicts, so it kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
And it's
There's
like,
so
that's the
many of
word.
those
It's like,
people.
oh,
Yeah.
we're one of those guys.
Maybe we should just never talk about it. Never talk about the failure that didn't come out. People
Happens a
won't
lot.
judge you for
That
it.
happens
It
a lot.
happens to all movies. I
Well,
think.
you still got a chance to make it, no?
Oh yeah, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
I'm really excited, man.
I should be. I'm
Yeah.
not used to this level of sadness every day.
Every day.
I mean,
Yeah, before you guys got here,
oh no.
I just see like a wholesome meme and I just start crying.
no.
No. Well, you were saying how you kind of like pushed everything down during the whole process, and then finally opened up
Yeah.
when you had the chance.
There's a silver lining. I think it's universal. If you're going into a long-term project, that requires an intense amount of labor where you're responsible for a lot of people, you're going to get into a certain zone.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was in that zone for years, so it only got worse. And I feel like that zone happens at the expense of everyone else around you, in a lot of different ways that you don't really recognize when it's happening. And it wasn't until after it was over, this thing that, you know, you become obsessive over. It's like this idea of wanting to be a movie director, and then the more it seems like that's attainable, the more you just become completely obsessed with it. And then when it's gone, you realize it's just a movie. And then you see how much like the pieces that you have to pick up when you come home, everything is just like derailed, kind of across the board. And so just noticing those things and trying to remedy that and reflect and heal and meditate
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Do you find that you didn't... I guess, were you so obsessed with it that you didn't realize what was happening? Or were you just pushing through no matter what? Or did you not have time to even think about it?
I will say, as someone that lived in this house while you were prepping for this movie, that you were insanely dedicated to this. I don't, like... we barely hung out. Not, like, saying that was a thing that... You were doing this movie hardcore. Like, I remember you being in meetings for, like, 14 hours a day. For weeks on end. And I really respected that, but it was like, holy shit, Carl is gone right now. Like, you are in a deep hole. And I've been there on projects before too, and I recognize that, but like with a feature, I've never been in a position where you are, where like you have to fully like engulf this project and have to know everything about it. And it's an insane amount of like, just if you're that focused on something, it's impossible to have anything else come in. I'm understanding what you're saying with your experience. That's wild, man.
That's really well said.
Yeah.
And that's an example of it too. The fact that we weren't able to hang out, and that like all of my friends and family, people who were close to me, like I wasn't intentionally pushing people away, but I kind of was in a way, and like not recognizing it, not realizing it. Yeah, and it's like, and I think there's part of it that like that's the process. It's going to happen.
Totally.
But I'm so glad now, whenever I do get to make my first movie, I know that beforehand, so I can do a better job of navigating that and mitigating the effect on other people. And I don't know if it's like warning people, like but yeah, I think it is. It's just being honest, communicating it, and like being transparent that this is about to happen, and still making time.
I'm gonna be gone
for 8 months.
Like honestly, I think that alone would make me feel better than just like getting weird with everyone.
Sure. Yeah.
And then disappearing.
What a ride.
Yeah, I think you should also feel some solace in the sense that like people knew where you were. Like people knew that you were dedicated to this thing, and we're very like, we're rooting for you. I just like saying from people that are your friends that didn't see you for a while, like we knew where you were and we were rooting for you the entire time. But we did miss you, and like it was it was weird. It was weird a little bit.
I do. Well, I appreciate that a lot. That does mean a lot to know like there was some degree.
You weren't. We
like
didn't forget about you or whatever.
Of a cushion there. Yeah, I don't like who I was becoming, because it's the same thing. Like when you do that, when you bulldoze and get into this headspace, especially for so long, when you lose the concept of a weekend for long enough, and it only gets worse. Like, you start to work with bad people.
Yeah.
Make bad decisions. You're just completely clouded. It's like soulless. I was when I think back to like right beforehand, I'm like, wow, like that's crazy. That must be what it feels like to be.
Sorry, the high school football game is bumping.
Eating up. Wait, are they playing Motley Crue right now?
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Is that Motley Crue?
I think it is. Jumpstart My Heart. It's got to be Motley Crue.
Oh man.
They're just hitting classics.
You gotta wait. Later on, like the announcer will come on and like start announcing touchdowns and stuff.
Oh yeah.
We'll assuming
keep
the score. We'll keep track of the score.
Man, I have never been to a high school football game.
What? How? You went to high school, didn't you?
Yeah.
What? How did? You didn't go either?
Look, he didn't go either.
Not high school, no.
Who did you get closest to during that 8 months?
That is interesting. Also, follow-up question to that. When did you like realize, or did you realize like, when did you realize like, oh shit, is that afterwards, or is this like while you're going through the process, you realize like, oh, stuff's getting murky, I'm like, stuff's falling away?
Yeah, I mean, there's the idea of the Peruvian jungle.
Oh, please explain.
It's like, like like Werner Herzog.
Oh,
it's
yes.
Like,
okay.
It wasn't,
I love this one.
The circumstances were not ideal, but they still like made it, So everything that's like horrible and wrong, it didn't really bother me. Obviously, safety and ethics are different, but logistically,
Yeah, because we've done some horrible things, like to make films. We have done as us three and others done some terrible things.
Terrible decisions. I mean,
Staying up days and days and days on end,
that
driving when we shouldn't, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I almost fell asleep a lot of times driving home.
I remember stabbing myself in the leg with a pin to stay awake on Something's Wrong with Peter.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to happen sometimes, I guess, but we've done horrible things. Continue.
it's exactly that. I'm like, well, I guess my job here is just to keep it together, because someone has to.
Someone has to.
Or else it would have just collapsed early on. So yeah, I felt like this is probably gonna be one of those. It's gonna be a story, at the Q&A.
Right.
It was a wild ride, but it exists.
Yeah.
It's always like that. So that was kind of where I was coming from early on, but it transcended that when it came down to safety and ethics.
Mm-hmm.
So realizing, like the moment, I don't know if there was a moment of realization. It was just kind of like, and who it came close. I guess there was two parts. I was growing closer with the boys.
The boys.
Maxwell,
Hmm.
Dax
Nalovansky from New York.
Max Nalovansky from New York.
A legend, a king,
Dax Stringer, assistant director,
a legend,
Legend.
and Taylor Camero, our cinematographer.
also a legend.
All legends.
We were on the same page. So growing closer with them enough to really trust that we were making the right decision, because it was a big decision. It's abstract when you think about it.
Mhm.
Just like this movie isn't going to happen.
Right.
But then when it actually happens, it's different when it's real and not just an idea, because all of a sudden now there's just like people, there's threats, there's people on the floor crying,
There's people flying to Alaska.
there's people
People have already been in Alaska
people
for a
have
while.
COVID,
Yeah.
people are freaking out, relationships and friendships are over, ended drastically, future becomes uncertain instantly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a little different when it actually goes down. For me, it was like, I felt good. I knew we had to do it.
Mhm.
That it had to go the way it did. The entire cast and crew stood with us. We consulted, and then we did it, and it felt fine. But then I went to get my luggage. I was like, well, we're leaving now. Once it was like, well, your career's over, we're going to end you, etc.
You didn't want to stay in Alaska?
I didn't. So I grabbed my suitcase, and that was when it just fully hit me, and I just
Yeah.
completely broke down. Just bawling,
Yeah.
and then left.
Wow. So held it all in for that many months. Pushed
That's-
through.
Years.
Years.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
And then got back, and still very, very sad. But I don't deserve to be sad. I should be fine. I'm happy with how much is happening. Just the involuntary kind of
Yeah.
sadness.
And it's really not over, like you said.
Very true.
Yeah, and I don't believe
You're
it
still
is,
going
but
for it.
the brain does things on its own without your consent,
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Well, I think it's going to happen, and I'm very excited for it when it does.
Thank you guys. We'll do it right this time.
Hell yeah.
And then you'll have another story. And then another story.
Yeah.
Just collecting them.
That was my favorite quote, is a costume designer saying, "We earned some really effective anecdotes from this."
How long was the costume designer there?
I texted her when it was going down. I said, "Hey Kate, when do you fly?" And she's like, "I'm at my layover right now. See you soon."
Oh.
And then I left her on red.
You let her keep
And
going?
then she made it to Alaska?
No.
She was like, "I'm about to board my next flight."
Oh, you should have told
You should
her.
have just wrote no.
Don't board the plane.
Yeah, well, that was the plan. I was like, we need to tell her immediately to not get on that flight. And she was like, yeah, she was already like
Oh, no.
coming. So
Oh, how about did you ever have like you said you talked to all the actors and cast and people. Did you ever have like a big meeting in person after the decision or before the decision?
They wouldn't have. They wouldn't do that for you, would they?
What you mean meeting with the producers or with the actors and
The
everyone?
actors and everyone.
No, just individual calls to
Yeah.
everyone.
Oh, okay.
What I was saying is like the producers would not help you set up that.
Oh yeah, no.
They would
No.
would not be
Did they leave immediately too?
account.
They're living there.
They're still there.
Yeah.
They're residents, aren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah.
Exactly.
Haha, the legend Larry is here.
Larry.
It just feels like there's so much wrong with the film industry right now. That's kind of, for some reason, just now coming to light in a way that it hasn't before, and I'm confused by that.
I'm confused too. I mean, the industry is over 100 years old,
Yeah.
and so a lot of hierarchies and protocols exist that have been tried and tested, but there's some pretty deep flaws at the same time
Yeah.
that everyone's aware of, and that somehow it took a collective realization for it to start to collapse.
If it is collapsing.
It sure feels like it is. I mean, if you look at the film industry with all its tendrils of like the theater industry is fucked. Like, people aren't going to theaters anymore. People aren't going to film festivals anymore. It feels like things are shifting towards streaming, but I don't know what that means, because like it's not changing for the people inside of it. It's just, it seems to be, we're just getting like new people that will abuse
Yeah.
young filmmakers. Like,
Yeah, it is. I agree. It's like, I don't know how sustainable it is.
yeah,
It's like a dinosaur, It's antiquated.
it sure is.
Kind of, but I don't know. It's kind of the newest form of art, is it not?
Film,
Yeah.
video games.
Video games are a higher art form, I think.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, film is more of a factory style art form.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, let's move on to what else do you love, Carl? I know you love music. Last time we talked about making music, and you're playing all the instruments.
Mhm.
And then what do you want to do on stage?
So I've been thinking about it. I think Pink Salmon
Yes.
is going to be a punk
Yes.
rock band. And I play guitar. And I have 3 other bandmates, but they're all like blow up dolls and mannequins and stuff. But then, and then they're voice acted by other people. So Cam Glass is the drummer,
Yes.
who's an alcoholic. So even though all the songs are pre-recorded, he keeps like messing them up, and we have to start over.
Can you
so he'll
hear him
one-
actually playing or no?
Yeah, it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like it'll start, and then he'll like fuck it up, and it'll be like, me and the other blow up dolls will be so mad because he's like drunk, and I'm like really pissed off. We have to start like the first song 4 times
excited for
until we
that.
finally like get through the first song. And meanwhile, Cam is playing the guy, so he's like, an alcoholic and kind of plays it, and he's like shitting on the audience members. Bone Steel operates a spotlight that he shines on audience members, and then Cam just like roasts them.
Cam would be an incredible drummer.
Oh yeah,
he's very good. Remember when he came over that one time? Like,
Yeah.
just naturally. I don't
drumming?
think he even plays I don't think he plays music.
He plays a ukulele and guitar.
I don't. He bought a ukulele because he wanted to impress a girl.
I mean,
Like,
if you learned a
that
song,
doesn't mean you play ukulele.
probably in one night. So
Everybody could play ukulele. That's
In
not
one
a hard
night?
instrument to play. There's like
know.
4 chords you can play on a ukulele.
he's a fast learner.
he's a fast learner. We'll give him that.
He is separately. I'm slamming the ukulele separately.
You're slamming it a little too hard.
Okay. Over the Rainbows. No one wants you to hear you play Over the Rainbow.
Wait, so can I be in Pink Salmon? Can I just stand there?
Yeah, you want to be physically seen.
Mm.
Yes.
Ooh, actually,
I'd also love to be involved if you need
yeah.
help.
Well, because it's the band is one physical human,
Yes,
but it's
you.
a full band.
Well,
because it needs these other people to make it like carry the show. It needs like gags. It needs voice acting. There's props involved. There's a very intricate.
Can I be your sound guy and he can be the roadie?
The sound thing is like really technically difficult because the songs have to react. You know, you have to like start the song at the right time with the, you know.
I would actually love to do that.
Play,
like,
yeah.
Like that sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just move from podcasts and videocasts straight to music.
All of the
yeah.
above. I mean.
Yeah, why not all of it?
Do all
It'll
of
be.
it.
I think the sets shouldn't be longer than like 20 minutes.
I
Yes.
like that.
It's like
Yeah.
that's like a comedy set length. That's a good length.
Yeah.
I mean, it would
I do
be
see
a
it that
bit-
way.
Right? Yeah, it's like a
Oh, yeah.
comedy show.
Yeah, it's like there's a little bit of performance art and music. All the songs are just supposed to be fun. They're pop songs.
Oh yeah.
They're played aggressively. The lyrics are fun, and the audience is supposed to like dance and enjoy it.
Nice.
That's the idea. And then meanwhile, it's like, you know, it's like something I think we might have talked about is like the ego of artists to assume that people have a reason to be there. When we watch like these shitty art films,
Yes.
where it's like it bothers me that like they think people care enough to like sit through a 12-minute wonder of someone eating a pie. And
I don't know who specifically you're slamming. But
David Lowery.
Oh, cool.
Did he eat a pie for 12 minutes?
Wait, that's
Homegirl
Ghost
does.
Story. That's Ghost Story.
Yeah, actually profound masterpiece.
Also, like tied to Cinestate, which is one of the
That's true, yeah.
one of the shitty companies we were talking about.
That's
earlier.
true. Very true. Oh yeah, that producer.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, Adam Donahue.
yep,
He's
he's a rapist.
a rapist.
Not good.
Shouldn't be said in that voice.
He's a rapist.
He's a rapist.
He's a rapist.
This is like this is off
Why in
topic.
that voice?
It's Andrew Cuomo.
Oh.
I'm not creepy. I'm Italian. You know.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys also, when you speak to someone who has a certain accent, do you like adopt that accent?
I
while
try
speaking
not to,
them?
but I'm sure I
I
do.
can't help it. My roommate the other day was Lupo. I don't know if you guys
What?
you probably know Lupo.
I know
right?
Lupo. Yeah.
Yeah.
What accent does
What's
Lupo have?
Lupo?
So Lupo doesn't have an accent, but he was telling me about because he sees me do it all the time, which it is wrong, but I can't help myself,
Okay.
and I don't do it to hurt the human beings. But he's just eating the cables.
Don't do that.
Oh, is he chewing the
No,
cable?
no, he's not. Don't do that. But so he waits tables, right? And he had this Italian couple, and they had extremely heavy Italian accents. So all night he's just waiting on them, all good, all good. And then he gets to dessert, you know, and he goes through the coffee drinks, and he's like, "Would you like a coffee, a latte?" And they're like, "Espresso," and he was like, "I'll get you an espresso," and he like said it super
Come on,
animated,
Lupo. You
and
can't
they
be
just
doing
got
that.
quiet, and he got quiet, and the rest of the interaction, they just did not look at each other or talk. He just brought up the espresso, and then that's it. Brought him the check, silence.
That's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, and he felt real bad about it. He brings it up a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, try to avoid that, I guess.
Lupo's cool.
I do like Lupo. Lupo's awesome.
How many people are living there?
At my house?
Yeah.
Right now, I have 6 human beings.
There's no food here,
And two
Larry.
cats?
1 cat, the tortoise and the snake moved out.
Are you trying to go through this little hole? Okay, Larry. There you go.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks
Sorry.
so much.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
be
no, we only have, right now, just 1 cat.
Okay.
We did have a tortoise and a snake, which, when my roommate Cameron moved out, he did not take the snake with him because he couldn't find it. He just left, and as he was walking out the door, he told Henry, "Hey, by the way, couldn't find my snake," and
That's
then
wild.
just left.
Yeah, you found it.
Yep. 3 days later, my other roommate Alex was doing yoga, and it just came out of a bookshelf, and she was like, "That's a snake." So we captured it in a little garbage can, and called Cameron. Came and picked up a snake.
Was it a biting snake?
He said, word for word, it won't. He said, "Don't let it bite you. It won't kill you, but it will scar."
What kind of snake was it? Did you find
He
out?
said it's a bottlenose.
Bottlenose viper?
Maybe. I don't think it would kill us.
I don't know if that's a
I don't
real
know-
snake
I
or
don't know.
not.
I
I
don't think
think
it's
I
a real
made that up.
snake.
Very scary.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, the
Sorry, Larry.
bottlenose
You might need
viper
to.
is secure and gone.
That's fire, Larry.
That's careful, man.
Larry's gonna burst into flames. But yeah, how many animals do you have right now?
We've got this guy, 2 cats. They're not great.
You don't. Are they your
I do
cats?
not like Spirit and Bizarro.
No, these are
Spirit and Bizarro.
very psychotic animals.
Why?
They I don't like. Do you think it's like, you know how cats are? They kind of want to hang.
But
Sometimes.
cats-
What do you mean?
they don't.
Or
They,
not
they
cats.
think they want to hang, but then when the hang begins, they immediately like freak out.
Yeah, yeah. These are not normal creatures.
Well, how long have you had Spirit and Bizarro?
About
mean-
5 years.
Where are they
I didn't
from?
realize they were that
Where?
old.
California?
From a roommate.
A roommate left them?
Yeah, her ex-boyfriend was living here, so she moved out and just left all the animals, including a dog and a 3rd cat too.
Wait,
Which-
they left all of the animals?
A lot of animals. So then we had to figure out what to do. One of the roommates took the dog.
Hold up. How do you leave that many animals?
She left very suddenly. She was like, "Hey, I got a diagnosis. I'm out."
Oh.
And then she said, "Take care of my animals." Don't roll over into the
She didn't mention that. She just left them, and then we kind of figured it out. And then she ended up coming back and taking one of the cats,
Okay.
the good one.
Left the.
left Spirit and Bizarro.
They're psychopathic, man. Like you'll be walking up the stairs and they'll just full dead sprint, like up the stairs and try to trip you.
Yeah, Bizarro attacks. He claws, and then Spirit is just psychotic. Like, I can't work when she enters the room.
Yeah.
So, do you take care of them?
Matt does.
You don't.
Her well, actually, I said ex-boyfriend, but then she moved a few doors down about a year and a half later, and they started dating again, and now they are engaged.
Congrats.
Oh wow. So why doesn't she take the cats back?
Because Matt lives here.
Yeah, so now she's hanging out
They're mostly Matt's cats, I think, at this point.
At this point,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
when they move out, I mean, I imagine if when they get married, they'll want to move.
Spooky. That was cool.
And maybe they'll take the cats.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Or maybe they'll just stay here. maybe the,
Yeah.
maybe the
Keep
cats will
them
just
forever.
continue to exist in this house.
Yeah.
They also do this weird thing where, like, late at night, if you're walking downstairs, they'll just kind of be staring off into the void.
Yeah.
Like, not... And sometimes they'll be staring at, like, a door.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
actually because we've had a lot of violent incidents here. So the way you know
Several.
it's about to happen
Oh yeah.
is Bizarro comes out of the garage and then looks at the door, and that means someone's about to come through that door.
Bizarro... You can trust Bizarro's look. Spirit is looking at whatever the fuck Spirit wants to
Spirit
look
looks
at.
through you.
For you into the
She looks
spirit
through
realm.
anything. She just
Spirit is looking into a different realm.
Different.
yeah. I mean, that's why she's named Spirit. Actually,
Did not know that.
she
Checks
was,
out. Larry,
yeah, she sees
Larry's
spirits.
going for the camera. He's
Oh, he's gonna take a fat one. I
Hell
bet
yeah.
you. He's like, oh, this is a good
I
spot.
hope so.
Oh, he's getting some scratches.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's getting it.
Nice.
The dog that barks continuously is no longer here.
Carl, I know you've told me all the stories about all the dangerous incidents here. What's the most interesting one?
Well, so it's like the reason that front door, you know, when Bizarro comes out of the garage,
That front door?
that one.
Which I used to help Larry.
Yeah.
Get
Oh, that's
into the
right.
back of
That was the
your
whole
car.
thing.
Yeah. We
For
can
the
talk
little
about that
movie.
later.
I want to know all about that.
That was wild.
It was you and Dennis.
Yep, you and your dad Dennis.
Yeah.
Took us 2.5 hours.
This is for the With Pleasure short that Larry acted in.
Yeah. Oh, he is letting it rip right now. By the way.
He is. He also let it rip
Directed
in the
by
car.
Carl
You were
Fry.
100% right. As soon as the car moved,
Oh, he was out. Yeah.
dumped.
A few times.
So
right?
many times.
I wonder if it's like a fear thing.
I
Like,
don't know.
I think he was anxious. He's worried he's going to the vet.
Okay.
When he finds out he's going somewhere cool, he's like, oh.
Yeah, as soon as Dennis put it in reverse and we moved 3 feet. Right out.
You smelled it. It was just like, oh, here it comes.
Yeah. It was
Yeah. You never gave up. My dad brings it up. You know, it's kind of like a life-affecting event for him. Was like your charisma and like perseverance.
tough. He did give up at one point. I said, Dennis, we're going to give it one more go. Because we were so close. First of all, it took us 20 minutes to get his leash on. So we had to convince him to step through the holes of the harness, and then we'd connect the harness around him.
Yeah.
And then you laid out his food tokens, which you told me the value of each one. There were apples. There was... He really liked...
the berries are an upgrade.
Cantaloupe?
Oh yeah.
Cantaloupe was high value.
That's like $20.
That was a $20 one. there was carrots.
It was like $1.
Yeah.
That was $1, and the apples were like $3 or $5.
Yeah.
And the pineapple was the victory, but that was after the film.
Yeah, he
I
got
wasn't
like a
allowed to give
$50
Yeah,
pineapple token for
but I was
doing
using
a good job.
the dollar carrots for a long time, and every time you get close to him, he knew he'd start screaming and he'd back up and wouldn't let me put the harness on.
Had you hung out with Larry before that?
I mean, here at the house, sure,
But not. I guess not very much then.
but like you said,
Yeah.
Larry doesn't trust anybody except you,
Yeah.
and maybe Dennis a tiny bit.
Yeah, more so my mom.
Your mom, okay.
He likes he doesn't like Zach.
Oh, really? That's funny. Maybe because Zach keeps bringing people that like harass him in the middle of the night.
Oh, brings him over. Hey, you want to see
You
a
want to go
pig?
see my pig?
I would do that too.
Yeah.
Be wasted.
I feel like I'm pretty chill with Larry.
Hold up.
There
Yeah,
was-
Larry likes you. He really likes William Magnuson.
That
Nice.
checks out. That
Yeah,
makes
'cause
sense.
He was a chameleon owner, Stanley.
Stanley.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Stanley.
Got poisoned and pieced out.
He got poisoned?
No, he got some kind of infection in his tail.
Stanley
and it
is
spread.
a chameleon that was also in With Pleasure.
Also, I was the animal wrangler on With Pleasure.
We'll link to With Pleasure. Below this video will be a link to With Pleasure, Carl's
Yes.
film.
And I was
All
in
of
charge
his first
of
movie?
Stanley, the chameleon, which was amazing. And also Larry, which, okay, back to the story. If I show up to the house with Carl's dad, and we have to transport Larry in the back of the car from here to downtown Austin, about a 25-minute drive. And we have 3 hours to complete this
I
task.
sent you at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
to complete this
And we
task.
got here, and then Dennis is like, it should take us like 20 minutes. I was like, okay, sounds good. We got plenty of time. We got over 2 hours. And took us 20 minutes to get him in the harness. And then we'd have to...
I think he's good.
Let's go. Larry!
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Larry!
He's going for the trash, folks.
Larry!
He wants the garbage.
No!
You can see him.
Larry!
He's so mad.
He wants to do it so bad.
Let him do it.
Don't
He
do
knows
it,
he's not
Larry.
supposed to.
Don't knock over the trash.
Let him knock it. Let him knock it over.
Don't do it.
No. Give up. See how mad he is?
He's furious.
He also broke your guy's grill, didn't he?
Multiple.
Oh yeah.
Several.
Multiple grills.
He scratches on them and then just flips them over.
You've had some fun
Off the
times with
thing.
Larry. I'll let you finish your story.
Oh,
we had Larry inside for a period of time during the winter when the ice storm came in. That was very exciting.
He was just hanging out in there.
It was fun.
Like a child again.
That was what a chaotic week. We had no water and Larry was living inside.
See, like, how loud is that when you're there?
It must be
Probably
so loud.
If it's the high school I think it is, it's really far from here.
Like, I'm still on the other side of the main street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not that far. Like as the bird flies, though. Really, it's not that far, right? It's like 2-3 blocks.
I think
Well,
it's
because the
going
one that's right over here,
Is it not that one? That's the one I'm thinking.
the
of.
stadium, because the stadium, I guess there is like a field over here, but the stadium's on the other side of
Oh,
Pecan
you're
Street.
right.
That's
That is far away.
They're screaming.
That's really loud, though.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to finish your story,
Okay,
and then we're gonna
okay,
go back
okay.
to the question you asked Carl about the craziest thing that's happened, and he mentioned the door.
Yes. Okay, so the door comes into play in the story. So, we finally get him in the harness, about 20 minutes. I've wasted about half the carrots. I haven't used the apples or the melon yet because we're not even close. We have to get him from the backyard, through the side of the house, to the driveway, and then we were going to lift him,
That's
With
not.
Dennis
That's
into
not
the
an
car.
option.
which he's probably, I don't know, how much do you think he weighs?
God, he's got to be like 165, 150.
Okay, which is not bad to lift with two guys, right?
I mean, not when
But
it's
it's a
shaped like
live
a pig.
animal,
Like,
yeah. You know,
it's different.
and
A
he's
mad one.
yeah, exactly. So, the progress we had from the backyard to the front yard, took 1 hour. I was putting carrots 3 inches apart, and then apples about 6 inches apart, and he would think about it. He knew what I was doing. And he'd look at me, he'd look at the carrot, and he'd just be like, well, you know what? I do want this. And he'd move up, eat it. And then I'd do the next one, and he'd be like, okay, I know what you're doing. All right. And we did that for a while. We get him through the side gate to the car. And out of nowhere, I was like, you know what? I'm running out of food. Like, I've already used about half. And I kind of put a melon, like, a foot away. Like, pretty close to the car, and he was like, nah, and goes back to the backyard. I almost just broke down and gave up.
You
right
lost
there.
all the progress?
All the progress. So then we
Did you not close the gate?
No.
Why?
Because we were just past the gate. We were so excited.
Oh, okay,
and I
I
didn't
see.
want him to, like, run into the street.
That's fair.
You know?
That's fair. I understand.
know.
I understand.
So
High
then
stress environment.
we restarted that. It spent another, I don't know, 40 minutes going from the front yard to the backyard. Then we get to the car. Trunk's open. And I'm like, all right, Dennis, we're going to go for it. We go underneath Larry, screaming. He goes, "Rah!" Just yelling. So terrifying. It sounded like a human scream. Immediately let him go. He goes like 10 feet away and it's just like, no. And I was like, Dennis,
Into the line. Like,
and
he
I was
wasn't interested in the food anymore?
I was like, no, he was interested in the food. There was no way we were going to lift him in the car. Just, there's no way. So I look in the backyard and I'm like, I think we need a ramp. And I look and there's this old door. That one right there that blocks his pen. And I'm like, Dennis, we're going to use this. And he's like, okay. So we prop it up against the trunk of the car, and it's a pretty damn steep ramp. I would say like 45 degrees. Not a good ramp.
Because you were driving Carl's car, right?
Yeah.
And Carl's car is kind of high off the ground.
Kind of high off the ground, so it's a steep ramp, and I'm like, this is our only shot, you know? And he's still up in the front yard at this point, so we used the apples. He gets up to the door, and then I just laid carrots and apples up this door, and then left a pile of cantaloupe in the trunk of the car. And he's like going up the door. He's literally at the cantaloupe. Like, his head is in the trunk, and the door is slippery. You know, it's not a wooden door. It's kind of like a metal-ish plastic door. I don't know what kind of material it is, but it's slick.
I think it's like sheet metal on the front with, yeah.
Yeah, and his hooves are just slipping. And then Dennis was like, okay, here it is. And he goes up behind him, and he tries to push him up. And Larry was like, no way. And he just backs up immediately because he hated that we were trying to push him in there. And then we just lost all progress. And that's when Dennis said, you know what, Andrew? I think I'm going to call Carl and tell him it's not going to happen. And then we just kind of stood there quiet for about 30 seconds. And I was like, nah, Dennis, we're going to try this again. And then I was like, I took the rest of the food, just lined it up on the door again. And the trick was we had to let Larry do it himself. There was just no other way. So he's crawling up this door, and he's struggling, like, because he's trying to balance grip and just the power to, like, scoot himself up this door. So he's slipping and shaking and just, like, making inches of progress minute by minute. And I'm like,
there's
come on, man. I was like, there's
the
cantaloupe. So now I'm starting to put cantaloupe at the top of the ramp, and he's just, like, really going for it. And he starts slipping, and I'm like, Dennis, we can't push him in. Like, he has to do this himself. And he finally makes it up into the trunk, like, halfway up. And then he gets the pile of cantaloupe. He's in. We close the door. And we're just like, wow. What a ride.
And you showed up exactly when we needed Larry.
Which was
He was at
3
call.
hours later on call time.
It did take you exactly as much time as you could had to
Which
get it
is,
done.
I'm so glad you scheduled that window,
Oh
just in
my
case.
God.
Like, in case this goes sideways.
Exactly as I
I
went.
know. I had no idea what I was getting into.
Yeah. How was Stanley though? Like wrangling him?
Well,
Oh, all good.
William forgot we were going to use Stanley.
The second day. So my call times were like 3 in the morning or something like that. Earlier than every morning.
It was
Which
ludicrous.
I was like ripping vines off of people's houses for the art department at one point.
Uh-huh.
It was like you, me, Lindsay, Carl, Max, Dax,
Yeah.
and the grip team that was there at 3.
Yeah, and Max was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some vines," and I was like, "Okay." So then
We're,
I just
we're
had to-
at the Alamo, like, downtown.
yeah, so I'm just going to some neighborhood and going to some backyard. This fence has tons of vines on it, and I'm just sitting there. It's dark outside.
It's
Ripping
3 in
vines
the
out of the
morning.
fence.
Of course it's dark outside.
But yeah, Stanley was all good until we had him the first day. I returned him to William that night. And then I think it was you who was like, "Oh, I need you to like get this in the morning," or like when you showing up, like, "Oh, you got to get Stanley here too." And I was like, "What do you mean, Stanley?" And I had no idea we needed him the second day. So then I had to call Willie Magnuson at like midnight the night before. And he was like, man, I don't know.
outside.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, man. I'm going to be like doing stuff.
I'm gonna be really drunk tomorrow. I'll put him outside.
Yeah.
That's literally what he said. I'm gonna be really drunk. I'll put him outside. Come get him.
So he puts him in a shoebox and hides him outside of his. Like, William was living in this like
The bungalow. We talked about that
the
in the last
bungalow.
episode.
Yeah. So he just put him out there. I scooped him in the dark as well, like 5:30, 6 a.m. But everyone loved Stanley, and he was on set basically the whole time.
Yeah.
So all the actors were just all about Stanley. Like, half my job once I was already at set was just taking Stanley out for little cruises, you know.
Yeah. I love the way he squeezes. As Steph says, he holds tight.
Oh yeah, the 3 toes.
Yeah, he's got these little prongs and he just sinks in.
This is amazing.
Slowly works his way up.
Let me check him.
Sounds good. Little rabbit right there. Oh shit! Jesus Christ!
He went back to bed.
Good night, Larry.
Yeah, I had a lot of fond memories from the With Pleasure short film.
Me too. That was the last, because we made that, and then like the next weekend, the world shut down.
That weekend, the world shut down.
Was it that weekend?
I remember.
Ooh, you got a rabbit in the yard.
Hmm.
Lots of cool animals. Yeah, I mean, we made it like Thursday, Friday, probably.
I forget the days. Do you remember?
I do not. I feel like it was during the week.
Yeah, it was like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
I think we all met up Wednesday and then shot it Thursday and
That sounds
Friday.
accurate. I trust you. I believe you.
Something like that. And then they shut down schools that Friday and we're like, we're not coming back.
The NBA shut down, and Tom Hanks got it on our first day of production.
That's what I remember. Tom Hanks infected.
The NBA shut down. Rudy Gobert ruins NBA season. Was the headline that night.
And then that's it. And then we did have the cast party at my house that Saturday.
This is got invented. That was a new thing.
Oh yes, yes.
At the cast party?
I think someone was pushing for that at the cast party. Someone like knew a little bit before the rest of us.
Yeah.
That shit was going down.
I didn't realize it was that real until
I don't think anybody did.
I didn't go back to work that Monday. My friends, just since I called out of work that week to work on With Pleasure,
Yeah.
my friends were like, hey, we got all your stuff from the office. We're not going back. I was like, what? What do you mean?
Wild. Do you feel like we felt the pandemic in a different way because we're freelance and like our life was already kind of a chaotic mess?
Yeah.
I do.
So
I feel that way.
Some people really suffered and hurt from it, but this house was kind of its own. It was isolated. It was a quarantine home where things could carry on. Things were funner.
I loved living here during the quarantine.
Yeah, COVID was awesome.
Yeah, well, you know, yes, I agree. I mean, it was definitely like the most downtime I'd had in years and years.
Yeah, exactly. That was fun. Like that part of it.
Yeah, obviously there's terrible things that happen, but the bright side was we got to play all of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2's Spec Ops missions.
Oh yeah.
What a bright side.
Hey, gotta find him where you can.
We watched Rome.
We did. Multiple times, didn't we?
I think so.
Why didn't you watch Room multiple
We watched it
times?
twice.
Why would you not?
It's so fucking good. It's the best HBO show that's ever came out.
Yeah.
Have you seen Rome?
Yeah, it's like a B-list Game of Thrones.
B-list
No,
Game
no.
of Thrones.
A-plus.
Lucius Varenus is like one of the best characters
True.
in like storytelling.
It's
I'll
not
have to rewatch.
about the money. It's about the respect. How could you not? Come on, Andrew.
It's a great scene.
Okay, I'll change my mind.
Rewatch Rome
I'll
on
rewatch
HBO. Not the second season.
How long
It
is
falls
it?
apart.
It's 2 seasons.
It's 2 seasons.
Too long.
What are you watching these days?
Nothing.
Okay,
Actually,
I respect that.
not that much.
You watch Squid Game?
I did.
Did you watch
That is
Squid Game?
Probably the
No.
only
You're too
thing I've
busy.
watched. I watched Dune.
Did you watch Dune?
It's not.
and
I didn't
Squid
either.
Game. Besides that, I haven't really watched that many films at all.
I'm terrible at like seeing new films. I am so far behind on like everything that's coming out.
'Cause, I mean, I watch older stuff anyways. Not super old, but like 90s.
What's the last movie you went to the theaters for?
Dude. Before that was James Bond, the new one, which I regret.
Oh yeah.
I've heard that's bad.
Oh yeah, that was my last movie.
You went? Okay.
I passed out and then I left like 10 minutes before it was over because it was
Oh no.
so atrociously horrible.
It's super long too, isn't it?
I mean, it's just like you get like a 20-minute cold open, and then the end of the movie is like 3 hours.
Oh.
That's kind of
That's how it feels, right? It's just like and then it literally goes to the end of the movie, and it just is so elongated and so poorly made
Oh
that
god.
there's no craft whatsoever.
It's the last Daniel Craig one, right? I think.
It is.
Apparently,
yeah.
I heard
What?
rumors about how the movie ends.
Okay, but I remember an interview with
Oh,
Daniel
'cause you
Craig.
didn't see it?
I walked out.
Yeah, you didn't see the last 10 minutes.
After like 3 hours, I was like, I can't do another minute.
I remember an interview with Daniel
Can't do
Craig
another
where he said,
minute.
I'd rather get glass shards in my eyes than play James Bond again.
Yeah.
Is he allowed to say that?
He did.
Actors say all kinds of shit.
Yeah, if that was my serious, I'd be like, Daniel.
Daniel,
Keep it down, Daniel.
Daniel, you disrespect me, Daniel. Huh. Yeah, I don't really watch anything.
And then
Yeah, it was-
before that, I watched Parasite like 2 years ago.
My last one's Tenet, I think. I think Tenet's the last one I saw in theaters.
I saw that on
I
the
loved
plane
it.
twice. I did
As
not
Nolan
like
intended
Tenet.
on the plane.
Yeah.
On the plane.
Speaking
It
of,
was bad.
Listen, okay, so I was texting you about this. I think I watched Mortal Kombat on a plane.
Oh, with
That's
new
the new one, yeah. That's the first time I feel like that movie was built to watch on a plane.
Yeah,
like-
that's what they did. They set out. They go, you know what? We're gonna make this for the air.
I feel like there should be, or one of our lights went out. There should be like airline exclusive movies.
Wow, that's untapped.
I feel like this is a
Is it
this is a
on
way
Make
we
it
can go.
airplane themed.
Is that not just direct to video? Is that the same thing? Why do you think it was perfect for the plane?
Because okay, so if you're flying like domestic, how long is a normal flight? Like
I mean,
2.5 hours, mate.
average.
yeah.
Anywhere from
Especially-
an hour to 4 hours.
we live in
Coast
Austin.
to coast.
Like if we're going somewhere, it's usually like 2 to 4 hours, right?
You sure?
Okay. Do you want to? How many movies do you want to watch on this plane?
As many as long as the plane ride is.
Okay, exactly. So this movie is like an hour 40, which gives you opportunity to get comfortable, like listen to some music, do whatever you're doing, watch the movie, you get through it before the plane lands. You're not like the third act is beginning as your plane lands. You don't have that situation. Also, it's just loud nonsense violence that like actually works pretty well on a small screen because it's very colorful.
I could see
Very
that.
colorful.
I could
Yeah.
see that.
We should start a new airline that's just dedicated to the entertainment process. And it's
Okay.
perfectly
You know
curated
what?
for your flight time.
And you have to fly the airline to see the film. That's
Yeah.
the only way
That's-
to see it.
That's literally that's what I just pitched was airline exclusive movies.
I like that.
Thank you.
Andrew's like, that's a shitty idea.
And then he says, "What if there were movies you could only see on planes?"
No, I'm saying it has to be that airline.
That's what I'm saying. That's what. What do you think airline exclusive movie means?
I meant all the airlines.
You
only
think
in the
you
air.
think it's just like, oh, this movie only plays in planes.
Yeah, only in planes. It has like an altitude
You have to
feature
be
where it won't
above
work.
this altitude
You have
for
to
the-
be
for the
above
movie.
30,000 feet.
Jesus Christ.
There's something to that. Like if there's like smellorama, what's like the plane, like the
Okay,
atmosphere
Depends
around
how
Hold on,
close
hold
you are
on,
to
hold
the back
on.
of the bathrooms.
that we could do that, but also just make the plane move with the movie. I feel like we're missing
What is
an
that?
easy
Yeah,
thing.
when the guy jumps off the building,
Yeah.
the plane like
Yeah, just-
what? The plane does one of these.
Yeah.
Like
So when someone dies, we all crash.
Oh, no,
it does
I
like
mean,
it goes
we
upside
could,
down
but-
at one point, and your plane's upside down. You're like,
Yeah.
Yo, it's a whole
Ethan
experience.
Hawke,
Oh,
Tom
this is
Cruise
hype.
is flipping his helicopter.
Dude.
The plane goes with
and
him.
it's perfectly curated. So it's curated from Austin
Yeah, that's
to
right.
certain cities.
Uh huh.
So however long
Yeah.
the flight
is exactly the
is
length
exactly,
of the movie.
So
Ooh.
whatever the weather typically is, or the turbulence typically is for that direct flight,
Incredible.
The movie's made for that.
We could
feeling.
even get into like we could play around with the length of the movie internally. You know, like we could like
slow down the plane.
No, like no. Like the flight's taking a little bit longer than normal. We'll just add a couple of deleted scenes to fill out the time. This
Yeah.
is easy to do, guys.
Oh no, I think it should be interactive.
Easy.
I think your pilot is like, we have been hijacked.
okay.
And then the actor
Oh!
kicks through the door. It's Daniel Craig! And he pulls out his gun and starts shooting the bad guys.
Holy shit.
And then you land safely in New York.
Dude, the beginning of The Dark Knight Rises is going to be so fucking hype. Bane is going to blow the plane in half. We're going to have such cool special effects.
And then you're in an even bigger plane.
That's
once your
right.
plane
Yes,
comes
yes,
apart.
yes.
Wow, your plane lands in the... Yeah, I can see that. That's awesome.
Wow. Okay, I feel like we've untapped
How
something
much
here.
are tickets?
I mean, how much does it cost to get into a movie? $6?
We're charging $6.
Yeah, but if you want to order food, it's like, that's where you really
Yeah,
make
the
the
food
money.
is where you get the money.
$35 burger.
Yeah, if you want a drink, that's $30.
Okay, we should do this idea.
Okay, cool.
'Cause I really
How,
like
it's got to
this.
be easy to start an airline, surely. I mean, lots of people have done it.
I feel like
I did look into buying a Cessna. And
I remember
found
this.
a bunch
I remember
of, like,
when you were Googling
1960s
planes
and
for like 2
70s.
weeks.
Yeah, Cessnas. And like a working one that would be worth buying is around 20 grand and it holds 2 people.
Okay,
How's that
I want to
sound?
get Carl's take on this because when you were Googling these, you thought you could just figure out how to fly the plane with no instruction.
Yeah.
You think just your first try.
I mean, you only
You
get
would-
one try.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not my first try. It's my only
No,
try.
okay, but you're going to. You said, "quote I'm going to watch a bunch of YouTube videos and know how to fly a plane."
Yeah, I think I'd be okay. Landing would be
Carl,
rough.
your take.
I mean, if anyone could do it, it's definitely Andrew.
I would play.
And Henry is the co-pilot.
Yeah, I'd be like, Henry, listen,
Oh
you
my
gotta
god,
come with me on this.
Henry.
He's just got YouTube videos loaded up on his phone.
Yeah. And I'm like, Henry, look up landing.
Look up landing as
Type
you're taking
landing.
off. As you're taking. Hey Henry, you still have service? Look up landing.
Tether hotspot, Henry. Tether hotspot.
Oh God.
Um,
Sorry to just Taylor. So our DP and with pleasure,
Mhm.
he got in a plane to shoot some aerial stuff, and the pilot said she was a little worried about the landing, and told him she was green and just. And then they took off.
You can't do that.
Meanwhile, the doors open and he's like filming out,
You can't
out the
do
open
that.
in a plane with
In
this pilot who,
Alaska.
like, right before they take off, yeah, she's like, "Here we
If you're
go."
a green production assistant, unless there's a reason to admit that, do not don't admit that you have no idea what you're doing unless there's a reason to.
I would
Yeah.
say it all the time. As a pilot.
As a pilot, you'd be
Even
like,
if I'm
I don't know,
experienced,
I don't know
I
what the fuck's going on up here.
This is my first flight. And then right in the air.
Yeah,
That's ludicrous.
Wow, what kind of plane was it? A water plane or what?
yeah, little seaplane.
Nice. Oh god. See, you could land those.
Why do you think you could land that? Why do you think you could?
I would play.
That's like-
whatever that airline simulator is. That game.
Microsoft.
Yep, that one.
Microsoft Air.
I would play that a lot. I would watch
Whatever
a
it's
lot
called.
of YouTube videos, and honestly, I would just go for it.
I
I think it'd be okay.
do you think you could like? If I gave you like a day to watch YouTube, how long?
One day?
How
No,
long do
no.
you think you're studying for this?
It's a while.
I just don't know how much you can
A
learn
week?
about flying a plane on YouTube.
I would do like a week here and there, 4 hours a day. I would be more worried about the plane I bought that's used, because I
Okay.
wouldn't be able to tell if it's gonna fly correctly. That would be way scarier. If you gave me a plane that for sure was good to go, and I knew that was guaranteed, and I got a week to research things, I would take the chance.
That's insane to me.
Why?
Because it is. I don't know how to explain why that's insane to me, but I don't think I could
I
fly
mean, you
a
know the
plane.
Barefoot Bandit? He was stealing planes at the age of, what, small?
Who's the Barefoot Bandit?
He was just stealing a bunch of planes and flying them around for fun.
Who are
And
you?
he's
What
really
are you
young.
talking
He's like
about?
17.
Okay. Carl, did we didn't finish your story about the door, I don't think. I don't think we ever got to that.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to tell us? Or? I don't have to.
Well, here's the abridged version.
Okay.
We had a roommate who was playing Fortnite,
Sick.
and some guys came in and shot him.
That is what happened.
And we weren't sure if he was okay. One day he came back from the hospital, told me what happened. We had a good, jolly time. And then,
I feel like that's the kind of the end of that's kind of the end of the story.
And legally, that's all I can say.
Wait, he went from Fortnite to the real deal in a matter of seconds.
yeah.
Yeah, the real deal. So that's why, and he should have known. I think it's like, again, Bizarro comes out of the garage, and he looks at that door,
That's the
and
trigger.
then you look over, and that's when that happens for me. I go into the kitchen, where you have cover, there are weapons.
What knives?
Listen,
Yeah.
I know every point in this house that a mirror can see.
Yeah.
I know where I can stand to see every part of this downstairs without someone seeing me.
Yeah, yeah. You're like prepared. So when
Yeah.
Bizarro comes out, I know exactly where to go. I listen, figure out who it is. If Bizarro runs up the stairs, it's not Matt. It's not Nicole. If Bizarro starts meowing and hangs out, it's safe.
Yep.
And even if Bizarro runs up the stairs, it's like, okay.
It's
it
like a
still could be
50-50.
okay.
Wow.
It still could be okay, but now I gotta be cautious. See if you can hear a voice. And then if you still don't know who it is, then you
You go in the kitchen, you prepare.
you're in the kitchen. You have your
Grab
knives.
2 knives.
Yep. I don't do it anymore, but I used to.
2?
I used to grab a knife and then look and see who it was.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done the bat by the front door too.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to be all chained up. Dean's gonna weld it on.
Oh, that's cool.
I do like that weapon Dean made.
Oh, he's got a couple.
I know. He has that mace thing.
Happy
too.
birthday, Dean.
Yeah, Dean turns 21 this
Today or
weekend.
tomorrow?
Sunday. We're celebrating tomorrow. And if the
Nice.
party lasts 5.5 hours, then we'll be there.
Then he'll be allowed to drink.
Is the party that early?
6:30. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Is the party that early?
It might be late.
I'll be super late, but I will do my best to be there.
Our friends are really responsible. Like, and when it comes to like partying and drinking,
Mhm.
it's like it's bedtime.
I feel like some of our friends are responsible.
Yeah, there were some friends who weren't invited to Dean's party.
That are not responsible.
How,
Who's not?
how late do you think you're going?
Well, I like the idea of it being early.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I was thinking, we'll have a little bit of light to start grilling. That's not true. At 6:30, it'll be pitch black.
It was
Goddamn
pitch
daylight
black when I got
savings
here
time.
at
Yeah.
5:55. So
Yeah,
It's like, what time is it right now? Like 7?
maybe. Yeah, probably exactly 7. Yeah,
It's 7:12 right now and pitch black outside. And it has
Yeah.
been for an hour.
so yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll just see. I mean, so far everyone who's invited said yes,
Hell
which
yes.
does elongate the party. But it's Dean's party. We'll see.
That's
cool.
There's gonna be so much food.
Is
But
Dean inviting people?
yeah,
Nice.
Dean's friends are gonna come mingle with me and Dean's joint friends.
Ooh.
Whoa. Should I play a bit? What do you want me to do?
Just wear a
Play
flannel.
bit.
Just wear a damn.
You want me to
flannel.
ruin the
Do you
party
want, me
or
to,
no?
you want me to be like the center of attention at Dean's party?
I like that.
Here, listen. I'm gonna go in the corner. I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh, actually, maybe we do that.
Is that better?
Once everyone gets there, like propose a toast. Say, guys, I want everyone to come and we're gonna have a toast.
And then don't say anything.
Don't toast it to Dean.
Oh.
Toast it to like Dennis for like make like the barbecue.
Is Dennis coming?
Yeah,
Oh, Dennis is gonna be
yeah.
here?
he's gonna help with
Nice.
the food.
Does Dennis know I don't live here anymore? I left very suddenly.
Yeah, Dennis knows.
There was a period of time where Carl and I we ate mushrooms for like a month straight.
Yeah,
Just like we would like make mushroom
portobello?
steaks. Yeah, like portobello mushrooms.
Okay, I thought you were just tripping.
No.
oh yeah,
Just
months.
fine.
Yeah.
Remember
For a
when you
month.
tripped for a month?
COVID was great, man.
Oh, no.
Teleported right through COVID, guys. I don't even remember any of
It's
it.
gone.
Touchdown.
Cheering for Carl.
I'll just throw some sound effects on there so they can experience it too.
Hey, probably getting picked up.
We got a flag down.
At the
49
49-yard line. That is so loud. I cannot believe how loud that is.
I'm going to the game after this.
Like, you can hear the crowd. How many, like, do you think that must be hundreds of people cheering, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Fake shit
for
on.
sure.
And it's like half the volume of the announcer.
Is it
It's wild.
is it okay to go to football games if you don't have anyone at the high school? As far as kids go.
You could get away with that.
You could. I feel like
What?
high school.
Is that what they want? I don't think that's what they want.
I think that is what they want, but I don't think they want the people that are there.
What does that mean?
I think you're getting some weirdos. Like, who's going to a high school football game?
I mean, is it open to the community? Is that the
Yeah,
whole point
I-
of high school football games?
I think so, right?
Yeah, it's probably. We could find out.
It wasn't Kansas.
We can go right now.
Should we go find out?
We should go
If
find
we can get
out.
in.
Yeah.
It's like a minute drive.
Yeah, we should go watch this.
Okay.
football.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're definitely going to charge you to get in. It's not like a free event.
But they'll probably have like food and stuff.
They will. Probably.
What?
Like we can get like hot dogs.
Why aren't we doing this every day?
Because they only play once a week.
Let's do it. I'll go get my jacket.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, I want to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the end of the podcast, folks.
All right.
Good evening from Carl's house. This has been lovely, Carl.
From the
Thank you so
trap
much.
home. I love you guys.
From the trap home. I love you too, man.
Carl.
We're going to go watch high school football, I guess.
Hell yeah. The Friday night's about to heat up.
Showing up late.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
All right.